Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I don't want to be like you. Come on, man. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold the record for pay-per-view.
My drop, I know my drop, I know my situation. I want to fight.
Vargas-Omar production.
But it's gonna be very difficult for both of us.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another spontaneous edition of the Boxing Voice. We might as well call it daily because as the boxing news gets delivered to us, we hand it down to you seconds later. And the big news today to be discussing is Adrien the Problem Broner, usually in the headlines because he has some sort of problem. But today, I want to say this is a good problem. Omar Figueroa has been rumored to be in a, DUI and had been arrested. And we all thought there was a possibility he would pull out. And now Dan Rafael of ESPN and numerous other sources are reporting that it will be likely, instead of Omar, it would be Jessie Vargas, the 28-2 with 10 KOs, who will be stepping in on April 21st on Showtime on the main event in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. A source with knowledge told Mr. Rayfield. Now, I like this fight, but the question today, ladies and gentlemen, is buy or sell. So I'm going to head on out to my co-hosts, starting with the Golden State.
Vargas-Omar production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rope into a knockout. When the main thing is, I just help the guy. I wish.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yes, the Hipsters here. Haters beware. And man, I'm honestly sad for Adrien Broner in this situation. Obviously no one is going to bat for him behind the scenes, because if they were truly invested in him, they would not be throwing him in there with Jessie Vargas on late notice when Omar Figueroa was already a tough fight. And I think the consensus, maybe not everyone, but the consensus out there is probably going to be Jessie Vargas is a better opponent than Omar Figueroa. So if you are invested in the Broner brand, AB, do you want this matchup at this point in time, coming off a loss to Mikey Garcia and the layoff? So much to get into. The matchup itself, obviously, we can get into it. How it happened, the rumor of it. Can't wait to chop it up with you guys and the callers.
And back out here in the Garden State, we're going to the amateur.
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and most vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynch the conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody like me. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. Get up!
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yeah, man. Adrien Broner got thrown a curveball, but even though I'm feeling Matt on his opinion, I think this is good for Broner. I think that this would be a good time for him to make an impression on the public. A guy like Jessie Vargas, if he wins against a guy like Jessie Vargas, I think a lot of the negative attention, maybe the negative thoughts about him being, on his way out, the naysayers, but a win over Jessie Vargas would be very impressive. Jessie Vargas has been looking good. He held the WBA secondary title, I think, at 140. And, Omar Figueroa was already going to be a good matchup. But Jessie Vargas getting thrown in there, it is a different opponent. It is going to be a different type of fight. Matt, you're right in saying that it is dangerous to be, facing somebody at the caliber that Jessie is at a late notice. But, Adrien Broner's no pup. He's been around for a while. He's a 4-division champion. I mean, this is what he does. So, either he's gonna come out of this gloriously,
sink or swim, daddy.
Yeah, that's right. So that's my thought right now on that.
Yeah, man. Look, I kind of echo your sentiments. I believe that this isn't that much of a difference in terms of opponent. Unlike Matt, who called it a short notice, I think Adrien Broner has been hard away at training camp over there with Kevin Cunningham and Vaughn Alexander and Devin Alexander. I believe that because the name changed, it doesn't mean that Broner isn't or doesn't have the same mindset.
I'm not disputing that, by the way. It's just that it is a later than probably, you would want notice on an opponent switch that is of the caliber of Jessie Vargas. And just for game planning, whatever that could be. Not that he's not training, not that he's not in Kevin Cunningham's gym, which I love. I love when he goes down there and gets away from Cincinnati and goes and trains in Florida. I do think that's great. But this still is of concern. It should be made note that this is not common where you have a late opponent switch like this of the caliber of Jessie Vargas.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't want to be one of those negative Nancys to make a lot of hoopla about this, because I'm happy that this is the world that we live in. You see, this is what I envisioned when I seen Al Heyman buying up all the fighters, that no matter where you turn, no matter what injury or pull out you may get, you still end up with a top 10 fight. And I like this. Now, for Broner, it is dangerous, and neither one of you have made any note to it, but obviously, this has to be a 147-pound fight. Jessie is a welterweight. Now, Broner has flirted with the welterweight division in the past. It hasn't always suited him, and he failed to the smaller Mikey Garcia. I mean, the only good thing I see is that this is also a junior welterweight moving up to welterweight in Jessie Vargas. So once upon a time, he was small himself. So I guess maybe Broner can find some sort of, I don't know, comfort in that.
True, but I mean, again, if you're coming off a loss, you usually want a tune-up. Jessie Vargas is no tune-up.
Yeah, but you need money. I mean, or that's what people want us to believe, that due to his children and child support, he needs to fight. And in order, to make a decent payday, it can't be versus a tune-up.
Then that's sad and unfortunate if that's the case.
Well, no, I mean, you're saying sad. Maybe he just doesn't want to touch what he has to pay his child support. Maybe he just wants to make more. Like, it's not that he can't pay child support, but we did hear Ken Porter allude to this when Porter was fighting him, Porter being Sean, which I spoke to today.
Again, having to make any sort of business dealing rushed in any way based off of what's happening in your personal life is unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
I don't know, Matt. I don't know if Matt is being negative, Doomsday. Let me try you, because he's saying that this is rushed. I mean, the man's already in training camp. What's rushed about it? All he's doing is trying to salvage a paycheck.
He needs that paycheck. You know what I mean? Anybody can. We all need some more. You know what I'm saying? Wait, Matt. Let me finish my thought on what you said. I'm gonna finish my thought on what you said. As a boxer, somebody stepping into the ring, I can't. I gotta agree with Matt. It is dangerous because you've been training for a certain style, a certain type of fight, and then you get thrown in with this other guy, and it's just not an average guy. There's some people on the chat saying that Vargas is super average, but he's been in there with all the top fighters, and I don't think he's super average. I think he's pretty good. And is he top 5 or not? You guys know?
No, top 5 he is not, but
10?
Definitely top 10.
He's definitely
top 10. You know what I mean? So it is dangerous, but in Nestor's opinion, it's what he does. That's what I said before. Adrien Broner is not a pup. He knows what he's doing, and it's kind of surprising to me because I was expecting Vargas to go, Keith's route. I thought that was going to be something.
Now look, this isn't 100%. I heard it could possibly be Josecito Lopez, who was pulled from his Hector Munoz fight. So let's see. I mean, Jessie just said on his Twitter, look, big news coming. He didn't confirm it. Dan Rafael is saying he, sources close to the camp with knowledge.
I mean, SB Nation already put an article out there. Scott Christ, I think, is the writer.
Yeah, but based off of Dan Rafael.
I don't even know what their source was, but they put it out there already as if it's already likely to happen. I mean, I like the fight.
I like the fight too. I think for one, it's a high profile fight, man. I mean, I don't know why you're so negative. This guy's been, you Google search Jessie Vargas and all you see is pictures of him and Pacquiao. This is a big name for Broner. If Broner gets a win, who knows what this does?
I'm not denying any of that, Ness.
We can't hear you while you talked over me. I can't hear you. What?
I'm not denying any of that, Ness. That this is a big fight, that this is a high profile name. I'm not denying any of that. I'm saying it's the wrong time for that high profile name.
You think this is a dangerous fight for Broner, Manny?
Yes. Coming off a loss to Mike Garcia and the way he's been on social media, you need to give him a soft touch to get that confidence back up. Now, as a fan, putting on the fan hat for a second, yeah, it's a great fight. I would be entertained by it. I'm maybe excited to watch it. But if I'm in his camp, if I'm in his team, I'm as a promoter, a manager, whatever, I'm definitely saying this is not the right move to make.
Listen,
we can do other moves here.
We were already anticipating an action-packed fight with Omar. I mean,
I don't know. I mean,
is Vargas more dangerous than
Vargas? I mean, he's got 10 knockouts. People seen him hurt Bradley, and all of a sudden he's a puncher. He's got 10 knockouts. He's cleaner in terms of technical skill than Omar Figueroa, but he doesn't have the activity of Omar Figueroa. And Timothy Bradley, who isn't the biggest puncher, he was able to rock-a-bye fucking Jessie Vargas to sleep for 11 rounds.
Timothy Bradley's a Hall of Famer. Broner is not. Come on, what are we talking about here?
Broner's sometimes so easily discredited.
Wait a minute. You act as if Broner's so far off of the achievements.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Bradley is a automatic Hall of Famer.
And you act as if Broner is far from those achievements.
Given though that he's a little, stained off.
First of all, listen, hold on. First of all, Bradley did not unify at 140 last I checked. Maybe he did versus Devin Alexander. Maybe. But it was like a one-belt unification at 40. At 47, his claim to fame is a robbery over Manny Pacquiao, going life and death with a prospect that lost to Mauricio Herrera before he fought him.
Do we want to pick apart Broner's resume? Because we can start doing that.
No, I'm just saying because you're the one being very critical here.
Again, coming off a loss, you do not take this fight. Coming off a loss, you don't take this fight. Ness, hold on. Coming off a loss, you do not take this fight. Come on, we all know that. If you're a high-profile name with the company behind you,
Omar Figueroa was undefeated. He was undefeated. Omar Figueroa didn't know how to lose.
Oh man, Omar Figueroa is sloppy. He's
Matt's on one
issues. Come on, man. Like this, there's difference here. Come on.
He going choppy on Vargas.
He's on one tonight.
Like, this is ridiculous.
Listen, man. I know where you're coming from, Matt, but still, this fights. If it does happen, it's a great opportunity for Broner to go ahead and actually rise up at all the naysayers and all the bullshit. He lost his last fight to Mikey by decision, unanimous decision.
Yes.
Yeah. So it wasn't like he got knocked the hell out. It's not like he
lost every round.
But he didn't. He fought Mikey Garcia. You can say that much, right? He didn't.
Again, do any of us think that Broner's beating Jessie Vargas? No.
What do you mean? No, he has a good chance, man. Come on, Mikey Garcia and Jessie Vargas are not the same fighters.
Yeah, I'm not picking Jessie. I mean, we don't know that.
We don't know that yet.
Omar over Broner. You're not gonna pick Jessie over Broner?
I didn't say I was picking Omar. I said I might have picked Omar, but I was scared because Omar is super sloppy.
Well, Jessie isn't.
Okay.
What's the big question here, guys? Are we ever going to get that Adrien Broner? Are we ever going to get him
come
back?
on the record right now and say he's picking Broner then. I mean, or Vargas. I mean, you acting like
I am. Jessie Vargas is going to beat him.
Well, you're saying it's a dangerous fight. How dangerous? Stoppage, unanimous.
No. It's in terms of percentage and winning. That's what I'm talking about. It's not a winnable fight coming off a loss. It's not.
But you guys got the bounce back off a lot.
Jessie Vargas is big as
they bounce back with the comeback fight, with the tune-up. That's what they do.
Listen.
Look who fucking Danny fought Brandon Rios. Jessie Vargas is a higher caliber than Brandon Rios. We have to be honest here. Come on. We can look at what they do in the ring and say there's difference here in a comeback fight.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna agree on that one with you.
Look,
Jessie
and we
Vargas
don't even
is
know who Keith is getting. Keith didn't even get fucking Jesse. Keith wanted a lower level opponent than Jesse.
Basically, you're saying this is too tough for Broner on a comeback.
I'm saying it's ill-advised on a comeback. It's
sort of like.
But what if you want to be great? What if you want to get back in the limelight? You don't want to wait the slow route. You want this 1.5 right now. You don't want to take a
Broner, take 700 right now, because we know Broner, you can make 700 right now and fight in 3 months after you beat up Samuel Vargas or whoever that we don't care about, and be a co-main event, and come back in the summer, and then come back in the fall. Fight 3 times this year. That's completely possible.
Man, I think the fans has just lost their faith in Broner, and I think that a fight like this could give his stock a little more.
Yeah, I think his stock will raise tremendously if it comes away.
No, if he loses, it just goes down. So it's like, if I'm Adrien Broner, what the fuck do I got to lose?
Yo, if he takes back-to-back losses to Mikey and Jesse, man, he's done at the top. He's done at the top.
Listen, my man got a family. He got bills to pay. He gonna be like, let me get this money. It's what I do for a living. I fight. Bring him on down.
Looking at it from Matt's perspective, it could be a career-ending fight because it would be back-to-back losses. But I think that this is a world where Gabriel Rosado is still a viable opponent.
Like Gabe is like,
you love cutting me off.
Sorry, I'm used to us being in studio. You know that.
I'm used to be punching you right in your face when we get close. The minute we knew, I'm talking to Kevin Barry and Ken Porter just to come to Vegas to punch you in your face because that's closer to where you live at.
Oh, that's
I don't know what I was gonna say now. Fuck this guy. Just punch him right.
I'll say what I was saying.
Yeah, of course. What you were cutting people off with.
Rosado, I think, is more like than Broner. Broner doesn't have the goodwill of the fans. I feel like the fans have kind of already turned their back on Broner. That's what I'm concerned about. If he gets those back-to-back losses, the fans are really going to turn their back on Broner.
I don't know, man. Jay Leon Love still could get fight, bro.
Yo,
yeah, whatever happened to that kid?
Nobody cares when he gets fights.
Yeah, but he can still eat. Is my point. Listen, quick super chat. Thank you to Jabron Clemens. Saying that BoxRec already has it in writing, and even though everyone likes to shit on me for using BoxRec, they all use it, and they know once it's on BoxRec, it's official. Yo, hilarious, B.
Damn, Broner, man. Yo, Matt, that's the thing, man. The fans, man, they've lost their faith in Broner. A lot of the fans, he has to earn that back.
That's where Matt's at. Matt's lost his faith as well. And
Matt feels like he's a lamb to the wolves, right?
No, but I mean, he makes a good point. I get it. You know, I mean, Mikey was a smaller guy. He beat you, and now you're going up against Vargas, who's mentally tough. Vargas is mentally tough, at least. You know what I mean? And you got to be good and school to pick them apart. I mean, look at Saddam Ali, who was a good boxer. I picked him to beat Vargas. He just couldn't keep Vargas off of him. Can Broner do it? But Broner's been in there with tougher men. That style, you see, because Jesse isn't Mikey, but Jesse is more similar to Maidana.
Okay.
Similar to Maidana.
And also, I mean, Mikey wasn't a volume puncher like an Omar was, but Mikey was able to throw enough volume to shell up Broner.
Yeah, but it was accurate volume.
Yeah, but I think Jesse's a pretty accurate puncher, to be honest.
He's been looking good, man.
I mean, look, let's get the elephant out of the room. Do you think that PBC, Al Heyman, the powers that be are tired of the suicidal rants, tired of the gun posting, tired of the, TMZ high-profile media reporting on this said superstar that's attached to this network? While they're trying to build something, he's simultaneously destroying it, so to speak, from one angle. And this is all hypothetical.
Again, hypothetical speculation. It definitely seems like Heyman, PBC, whoever you want to say is they.
This is a serve up.
Yeah, are no longer in the business of Broner. That Broner is truly on an island of his own, and he even says as much on social media when he goes on his rants.
Now, how much is this fight worth, you think? Because we're thinking, wait, hear me out. We're thinking they're cashing him out. How about we think the way I was thinking a few minutes ago, and it's like, no, this is a big money fight. They say, you want to make real money? Well, you got to fight Vargas. How much is real money? Like, Broner is getting what to fight him? I mean, we know he's fought. I mean, he's coming off a loss, so I guess the check can't be the same, but we do know at one point he got 1.25 to fight Paulie. Would he just get to lose to Mikey, you know?
Got like $1 million, I think, to fight Mikey. He got like 1.1, I think, to fight Mikey. But we looked like before, and it's usually like 800 to 1.2 is that range that he's always in.
I think that
never dipped below 800,000.
And the opponent switch, even though in some cases it might have
got to be getting more money for this. This is a higher caliber opponent.
But based off the loss, I don't know, maybe 950. I can see 950, 900.
Damn, you think this kid's not banking $1 million anymore? You got to understand, he still does the ratings, win or lose. That's what matters. That you can still pull the seats and pull the eyes.
It does, but again, it seems like they're trying to push their resources to other people now. That's again, like Broner is a different generation almost now. Like it felt that way. When you look at that big press conference on Showtime, it felt like Broner was one of the older guys there.
I mean, being the opponent switch, right? Just don't mean to cut you off.
It also felt like he was the most popular guy there. Like
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying. That's why I'm not denying that point that you said about the rating.
The only guy that Charlemagne spoke to on a first name basis.
Is there any change in maybe purse because of the change in opponent? I mean, facing a more dangerous fighter, right?
That could be backroom. That could be a backroom like check.
And you know, being Adrien Broner, I'm like, okay, you're giving me a more dangerous opponent. You know, kick something more up for me. I mean, it's a win-win situation for Adrien, man. I mean, even if he loses, he's gonna get paid. And the opponent switch, sometimes when you get an opponent switch, is bad. Oh man, we're waiting for this fight, but now we're getting this fight. With Jessie Vargas, you know, Jessie Vargas has a whole crowd, a whole backing, you know what I mean? And I think it's just going to add more viewership to this fight, more attention.
Shout out to the Barclays Center. I mean, they are fucking killing all other stadiums. I remember the StubHub used to be the shit like 5 years ago.
Yeah, man. Barclays Center turned into the, what was the Roman?
Coliseum.
Yeah, the Coliseum for boxing, man. Shit's dope.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Well, let's go out to the phone lines and the sponsors. Shout out to all our patrons who make this show possible and allow us to get to all those camp lives. So remember, all super chats and Patreon subscribers are greatly appreciated. We're trying to get into Kevin Barry and Joseph Parker's camp right before they head on out to see Anthony Joshua. Just waiting back on the final OKs. And just lining things up, man, with a couple of guys there. So let's go. Matthew,
sorry,
were you doing something?
No, that was an accident. Actually, I'm sorry.
He spazzed.
That was an accident. Sorry.
Was that a bad soundbite?
Still gotta get my soundbite up.
Move on. Callers.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Going out to the 502-956. 502-956, first time caller. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Mike Presley from Louisville, Kentucky.
Mike from Louisville, Kentucky. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, brother? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for calling in, man. What do you think of this news? Jessie Vargas in, Omar Figueroa out?
I just feel like a lot of people just hate Broner because if Broner was the one to pull out the fight, he would have got dogged for it. And Omar pulling out the fight, and people still clowning Broner for Omar pulling out of the fight is crazy.
I definitely see your point. Now, what do you think about this fight if it actually happens? Does Broner have a shot versus Vargas? Is Vargas a walk in the park?
I don't see nobody with 10. I don't see nobody with 10 knockouts beating Broner. I just don't see it happening. You can say what you want about his personal life, but I just don't see nobody with 10 KOs beating Broner. If he don't knock Broner out, he's not beating him at all.
Now, what about the size? Does that mean anything to you? I mean, Vargas seems to be the bigger guy.
Not really. I don't really feel like I don't really feel like Vargas been in there with nobody that he has shown. When he fought Manny or when he fought Timothy Bradley, he didn't do anything to them. So I don't feel like I ain't saying Broner's on the level, but he's not no scrub. And people calling in, I'm reading the chats and stuff, everybody making it seem like Broner's like a C fighter, and he's not. You got to put your personal feelings to the side when it comes to this, and I don't think people's doing that.
True.
I hear you, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. I want to ask you one thing before you go, though. Is this an upgrade in opponent? Like, do you feel that this is a better fight now that Vargas is stepping in?
Yes, it's a better fight for Broner. Like you said, Omar. When they started announcing everything with Omar, I already knew he was gonna pull out of the fight. He didn't really seem like he was in the fight anyway, so I knew it would be a different opponent. This is a better fight for Broner, and he can prove people wrong if he does win, which I'm pretty sure he will win this fight.
Well, all right, brother Mike. You said Mike. Where are you calling in from?
Kentucky.
Kentucky, we got you. Thank you for calling in, brother. We going to D in the ATL. Talk to me.
What's good, Ness? What's good, everybody?
What up? What up? Hey, speak up a little bit, D.
I just want to say, we can say what we want about Adrien Broner. He has more heart than most fights at 147. You got Keith Thurman running from Errol Spence, pulling the floor, dumping stuff. I'm just saying, you got Danny Garcia, cherry picking, fighting Brandon, running from anybody. At least you could say what you want. The man, he could went to New York and asked for an Uber driver to fight. This man said, Omar Figueroa, okay, fuck it, give me somebody else. Give me an upgrade guy, Jessie Vargas. Even though he probably gonna lose this fight, you can't say nothing about it. This man don't duck nobody. He probably gonna lose, but he don't duck. He fighting better opponents than people at 147. People higher, people put a higher pedestal than Adrien Broner. He fights better than him. His resume speaks for himself. Fights better than all of them. But so I don't understand the hate he's getting for fighting Omar Figueroa, not for Omar Figueroa, Jessie Vargas. That's all I have to say.
Well, all right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in.
Indeed. First off, really good.
Repeat all that, Matt. Repeat all that.
I know. Overall, just good point about, since he's fighting a great guy, or at least a top 10 opponent, and these other guys aren't, we should give him credit for that. I absolutely agree with that. 100%.
Yeah, he made a bunch of great points.
And also, I just want to add to it, I don't think it's hating on Broner to say that this might be a bad matchup for him. If anything, that might have Broner's best interests at heart, to be honest. I know that might be kind of weird to think about in that perspective as a boxing fan, but if you are a fan of Broner, you may not want this matchup, to be honest. But you are right that he should get credit for taking it.
Either you believe in your gallo or you don't.
Yeah, man. That's well, this is a tough fight, and it's a good fight. This is the world that we wanted with PBC. They're giving it to us. I just hope that people appreciate it and understand it. And like the last caller, D from Atlanta, said, look, man, he doesn't have to do this. He could have fought an Uber driver, So it's pretty cool that he's not. It's pretty cool that these are the options for us as fight fans. Instead of an Uber driver, instead of an Aaron Herrera, we're getting a decent, if not, this is championship level, man. I mean, if this was HBO, this would be championship boxing. Am I wrong?
They would find a belt for it.
Oh, no. I mean, you don't need a belt. Do you need a belt to be on championship boxing? Is that what you're saying?
I believe so, because it's real championship boxing.
Well, okay. Well, I just want to applaud them. If they happen to make this, I'm happy with that. Oh, you guys are excited about this. Okay. I'm happy to receive this one and obviously do a bunch of build up on it. Oh, you guys want me to shut up? All right, we'll go.
That wasn't me. That was
570-54 570-540 570-540. What's up? Who's this? First time caller? Where you calling from?
Oh my, yeah. What's up? My name's Nelly. How's it going?
Nelly, where you calling in from?
From Scranton, Pennsylvania, my man.
PA in the building. Talk to us, brother. How do you feel about Jessie Vargas stepping in for Omar Figueroa?
Man, to be honest, I think it's going to be a great fight, and it's a dangerous fight for Broner. The reason is because we already seen what gives Broner problems, and it's definitely not a style that Jessie Vargas has. It's Omar Figueroa. That would have been the problem. That would have been the real test. But I believe that Jessie Hart has accomplished more or been in the ring with people with more caliber, more known than, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, his resume.
Definitely agree, brother. Well, I want to thank you, obviously, for calling in, man. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Check out the documentary, One Face, One Name, One Champion with Deontay Wilder. We have episodes 1, 2, and an epilogue. We're going to go out to our Skype machine. James, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Feels good to be able to get called 2 days in a row. Adrien Broner, I gotta admit, I've been off the Adrien Broner train for a couple of years now. I'm not a big fan of his antics. I think that he's one of those guys who allows his outside the ring persona to hurt his ring work. I guess the best word I could look at. So I look at this and I say, you know what, Jessie Vargas is a good test, man. He has a great resume. Been in there with some of the best guys in the business, even though he hasn't won against some of the best guys in the business. I feel like him and Adrien Broner are almost the same level. Guys who have a lot of potential, a lot of great talent, but have lost some of their step-up fights. And hopefully this can get Broner on the good side of boxing in terms of in the ring. You know, he's always going to be a lightning rod type of guy because of his antics outside the ring. You know, we thought he was going to be the next Mayweather. That he is not. But that doesn't mean he can't be a poor man's Mayweather. A guy who has a couple of losses but can still pull up and do some good stuff. I just hope that we actually get the best Broner. I watched him on a couple of interviews, and he'll do a shitty performance and then come back and be like, "Oh, you're gonna see the best Broner that you can get." You know, what's the famous thing he says? Or when I'm at my best, no one can beat me. But he keeps getting beat. So it's like, when you gonna be at your best? Hopefully you're gonna be at your best, and you know, he can prove to us, you know, the once fans. I put myself in the once fan category, that you are who you say you are. Other than that, you know, I love the boxing voice. Y'all keep it going.
James, man, thank you for calling in. I will say this.
The saddest thing in life is wasted talent.
And that is the story of Adrien Broner's life. He needs to turn it around. Hopefully he can do that. Listen, this has been a breaking news report. So I want to remind you, you can always hit that thumbs up button if you're catching this tomorrow, later on today, right now, doesn't matter, future, present, past. Hitting the thumbs up always helps with the visibility, lets me, Doomsday, and Matt know, hey, you like this content, we should probably keep doing spontaneous shows. Another way to do that is obviously by subscribing. We're coming really close to 67,500. We're trying to get to that 68. I mean, if we could do that in a day, that would be another record that we set, like, you know, so that would be awesome. Help us out with that. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the documentary. Matt, you stay putting me on a timer. What the fuck?
Yo.
Matt, I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Final thoughts is...
Hold on. Ness. Time out. Flag on the play. You forgot Ruthie's, man. Come on. You can't leave the show.
I actually talked to Gil. I ordered some. But to make it worth his while, I'm trying to see if somebody want to get down. Didn't you want some, Doomy? You should order the double dozen.
I do. So put me down for the double dozen Ruthie's Pasteles.
I'm getting a double dozen, so that would be good. We could get one more person and he can make that trip today, because I would have some right now. I'm fucking starving right now. Anyway, I guess I should give you the phone number, which is 917-568-1195. You could also place your orders online, because this is the 20th century. Orders at Ruthie's Pateles, all common spell, RUTHISPASTELES.com. And you can check them out on Instagram at Ruthie's_Pasteles. Speaking of Instagram, I'm your host. Catch me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Final thoughts are, thank you, Al Heyman. This is a great replacement. I could have easily been seeing Rod Salka Broner, Samuel Vargas Broner, Aaron Herrera Broner, fuck anybody not in the top 10. This is a breath of fresh air. Andrew, Sam, Kelly, Lisa, everybody that listens on the low to report what it is that we're saying. Thank you.
I'm Matt the Hipster. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram. My MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radio, is on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, etc. And of course, go to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice if you want to support your favorite boxing channel on YouTube. And also get hours and hours and hours of extra boxing content from Standing 8 Count, Untitled, Overtime, etc. Peace.
No final thoughts for you? That was
dry. He came in with his thoughts.
I wish I had your soundbite right now. I'd be like,
is my soundboard still out of tune here?
Let me hear it.
I just played something.
It's not working. So
you're serious? Whatever. I'll get her going.
Yo, who set that up for you?
Nobody. I just did it myself, but I just still don't know why it doesn't.
Know why? You know why? Because
but you could catch me. Damn. You could catch me on IG. That's Alex_Doomsday_Lainez, Lainez. You catch me on Facebook, Alexander Lainez, and on Twitter, Alex Lainez TBV. And make sure to check us out on Patreon. Get all that exclusive footage. If you haven't seen the documentary with Deontay Wilder that we did down there in Alabama, Maddie, Enrique, Mickey, Ness, killing it out there. Go check that out. There's different tiers, and you choose to which tier you want to. You want to get that, what is it called? The boomerang? You get
Mastermind.
Ringer. You know what I mean? So go check us out and look through our tiers and see what best fits you. And, I just started a channel. I know it's 3 videos up there. Doomsday Chronicles. Something new will be coming on pretty soon. Make sure to check out all the sister channels.
If you want to follow radio channels, you go to YouTube. You go to the Boxing Voice on YouTube. Go to the featured channels section. Find a ton of channels that you can subscribe to and get extra content.
And final thoughts on this. I mean, you could look at it through 2 points of views. Matt had a great point with the, the danger and him coming back. There's a lot to lose, but then again, there's also a lot to win. And we'll leave it at that. Let's see if this fight really happens, if it's fully confirmed. It says that when it goes down on BoxRec, I guess it's gold, right? So we could assume that this is going to happen. And I had something else to say. Oh, how you feeling, Ness, for a little Espanol? Got the Latinos right now.
I'm ready. We could do it. Listen, let's close this one out. Come right back. So there you go. You heard Doomsday. He's going to be coming back with some boxing voice in Espanol. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because we will continue to bring you the latest and greatest. Do say.